we just set a challenge to Poetry Aloud, which I failed to rise to, which was to write your own version of a poem. So we have a collection of different people's ideas for you today.
Good afternoon, Chris Dowden. When we chose our theme for the year, Part War, my imagination went straight to Thomas Hardy, a good inspiration for all sorts of things, I suppose, prose and poetry. And what better poem, really, to mirror such a day as today? Weathers, by Thomas Hardy, but this is my version. Weathers. This is the weather the blackbird loves, as I do. When mists envelop the gardener's gloves, and the larks hide, and clouds scud smartly as the west wind blows, and verge-edge pips swell, as do the sloes. And lakes thaw, snow is gone, water flows, and birds steady themselves as bonfires glows, as I do. This is the weather the postmen hate, as I do. When squirrels squirrel at autumn's gate, and slither and slide, and swallows survey the shingled spire, and gather atop the highest wire, and gambolling hares begin to tire, and homeward pilgrims wade in the mire, as I do.
This is not my poem. This poem is by Richard Whiting, who couldn't be here today, so for a second, I am Richard Whiting. Richard Whiting is a postman, and he chose a famous poem by W.H. Auden. I'm sure you'll all know it. So, Richard has called his Night Mail 21st Century Remix. Here comes the night mail, still crossing the border, bringing junk mail, flyers, stuff you've not ordered. Parcels out of Heathrow, a steady climb of greenhouse gases gathered behind. Letters from the rich that threaten the poor, a repossession order for the house next door. Letters from the government, you cannot stay. Don't try it yourself, but Theresa may. Letters with lines detailing fines, letters of disappointment at cancelled appointments, letters from France which simply say, having a terrible time in Calais. Over mountains, macadam and wind-sown grasses, the night mail's shadow quickly passes, while thousands are still asleep, dreaming of terrifying monsters, taxes, inflation, crisis too deep to fathom, asleep in unemployment-hit Glasgow, debt-ridden Edinburgh, or dry Aberdeen. But still they awake to find mail, and all will fear the postman's knock, the courier's ring, the online retailer's parcel thumped upon a soaking doorstep. With quickening hearts, such missives in their hands will say, though most of this is grim and rotten, at least I'll never be forgotten.
One of those, I chose Thomas Hardy, and I chose a poem of his called Child Firing, and I'll give you an introduction to the poem. The poem was written in 1914 and published in May of that year, just before the First World War broke out. And I chose this poem because, having been a soldier for a big part of my life, and on many occasions we used to go firing the artillery and everything, and waking up people all over the land. we often joked when we were firing guns that we'd be waking dead. The poem, if you read the original and listen to this, the original is as relevant today as it was when it was written then, if you read deep into it, because the world at the moment is in a terrible situation with all the wars going on all over the place. Anyway, my poem, Sounds of the Great Guns. Silent and in the black of night, all innocent souls were in slumber deep. Came the sound from those great guns. Many thought the heavens had fallen, awakened from dreams sweet and pure, by the sound of the hounds howling. Even the mice stopped petrified, and worms did draw back to the ground. These men of war were there to test, and always to the ready their great guns. When nation is against nation, driven by madmen, we helpless people have no place in such ways. It is not the judgment hour, for that we may give thanks. For when that day comes, many will fall upon hell's floor. Others on heaven's door will knock. Silence once again fills the night. Here, laying deep in thought, will this world ever know peace? For centuries there have been men of war, and those that lie in graves will turn, and their souls shudder to think that we still lust for war. One last salvo, and silence once more shattered far and wide across the countryside. Thank you.
I've been asked to read this lovely little poem by Rob Block, who I believe is walking in Ireland at the moment. It's inspired by a part of a Shropshire lad by A. He's called it Beyond the Edge. I raised my eyes to the hills around Church Stretton again this week, as I hope I will each year, till I've forgotten the route, how to lace my boots, and my mind has been tossed into the lumber room, borderland, all of its content lost.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Murray Linford. Gerald Manley Hopkins died on June the 8th, which is also the date of my birthday. The poem was inspired by the rereading of his poem, Pied Beauty. When Hopkins was sent to work at the Jesuit at St. Aloysius in Oxford, he wrote to his friend, the poet Robert Bridges, "I cannot in conscience spend time on poetry. Neither have I the inducements and inspirations that make others compose. Feeling, love in particular, is the great moving power and spring of verse, and the only person that I'm in love with seldom, especially now, stirs my heart sensibly." Presumably, he was talking about God. Because of his increasing melancholy, his later poems have been called the terrible poems. Not because of their form or lack of proficiency, but because their deep sense of sadness and dejection. It has been conjectured that he suffered for most of his life with some form of bipolar disorder. June the 8th, and I've dedicated this to Claire, my partner. Although Hopkins fell out of love, I've been with Claire for 38 years. Unfortunately, we are both still in love. June the 8th for Claire. Can love for abstract notions be enough? Can dappled things or things of coupled colour recompense outpourings of the heart when there is no embodied human touch or loving glances? Christ may be the word of this world's light, but history incarnate cannot love as we love now. But having written nature in the flush of springtime and the innocence of youth, inspired by the Pentecostal breath of passion and the spirit of your God, to come to this, to die in such distress beneath the dove whose syllables of fire haunt the trees and dunes, remembered moments that were once themselves eternal. Is death enough to bring me to my knees in worshipful communion with nature? But more than this, or homage to creation, my prayer is now this moment of belief in your perfected body and the blood in living veins. Thank you.
I'm also reading for someone else. I'm reading for Ian Speed, who's in Germany, I believe, all over the place. And he based his poem on Emily Dickinson's Because I Could Not Stop for Death. And he calls his Predestination. Because I would not stop for death, he had to search for me, hunting me and hounding me from Aleppo through to Lesbos into the Calais jungle. He had all the time, I had none. I felt and heard his presence, even smelled and tasted him, but never did I swallow. Almost caught in East Aleppo, fire bombing of my school, and the destruction of my city, there was no sun to set. Surviving tortuous seas, he chased me on to Lesbos, safe haven, courtesy of God and some decency in man. My canvas home in Calais, torched and burned with me inside, by accident or not, remains unclear, but the truth is known to me. Since then, it seems a lifetime, and yet each day is longer than the one before. A sign the chaser's getting wearied. I may yet survive tomorrow on to eternity.
This is me as myself. I'm Derek Evans. When I was thinking of looking at an old poet to try and rewrite one of his poems, my mind immediately went to Catullus, the 1st century BC Roman poet. He's well known for his love poems and his erotic poetry, but this poem really jumped out at me. It's got the catchy title 101, because all his poems are numbered, they don't have titles. He, apart from being a poet, he was also a civil servant, because, you know, even in Rome, poets had to read. And the Roman Empire sent him out to what we now call Turkey to do a clerking job. His brother had been out there some 10 years before and died, and this was the first chance that he'd got to visit his brother's grave. And that struck something in me. So when I had a brother who died when he was 10. I was only 2, so I got absolutely no memory of him, apart from the effect that he had on my parents, and sort of a kind of feeling that was always there. So this is my version of Catullus's poem. I've called it Return to Queen's Road Cemetery, Walthamstow, E17. I have come a long way, brother, a journey through time and the heart that brings me to this white stone to pay my respects. So, here I am, flowers in hand, uttering words that you cannot hear. Fate separated us, Michael, an empty space in my life where you should have been. I tidy the grass around your impassive grave, throw away dry and lifeless flowers, arrange and water fresh blooms as our parents did. Accept this trivial act, along with tears that seep through the years. Till we meet again, big bro, this is the long goodbye.